Ahmed al Burai is a lecturer at Istanbul University. Good to have you with us. So the government hasn't wasted any time in cracking down in the wake of the weekend's attacks. And the Interior Minister said 235 people have been detained so far. So are they all in connection with the attacks? What should we make of that?
The point here is that these people should know that Turkey is passing through one of the most turbulent period in its contemporary history. So it doesn't make any sense for any of these so-called activists to go online to social media and other places and try to propagate, to disseminate and spread a kind of a propaganda supporting these kind of terrorists. So for Turkey, it's a state and it's a democratic state. It should take all measures to defend itself, to protect the people, and to keep the social security. And that's what are they doing. That's why they're immediately and swiftly started this kind of crackdown against these people who are trying to provoke the emotions and try to create a kind of instability and chaos in the society here.
So after the coup attempt 15th of July, also hundreds were arrested and in connection with Fethullah Gülen terror organization. So should we make any connection to today's arrests?
Absolutely. You know, Turkey in the past year has been a direct target to three main factions of terrorist organizations. The first one is the coup plotter and the Gulenists. The other one is the PKK and its splinters and offshoots, whether TAC or whether the PYD, the YPG in Syria as well, and ISIS. And you see, it's a kind of all of them agreed at once, and they started attacking Turkey, which is a kind of a very paradoxical, because they all have different agendas, but still they consider Turkey as one enemy, and they're clever enough to start working not only on the military side, so they're working also on the social networks. They have their activists who are trying to promote their own campaigns and rhetoric to the people, and that's why Turkey is so, the government is so cautious about that. And still, everybody should know that Turkey is still remains in the state of emergency, and they have the full right to carry out these and bypass the parliament and other judicial institutions in order to keep the safety of the people.
So TAC claims responsibility of the attacks, but we haven't really heard much of them. So who are they?
TAC is an acronym of the Kurdistan Freedom Falcons, or Hawks, and it is, by a way or another, an offshoot. It's the same splinter of PKK, but they're trying to have different names to brand themselves with different labels in an attempt to spread or to make different accountabilities. It's not only PKK that is fighting the Turkish government. They're trying to make it more a huge number of organizations, but still they're the same organization. They're carrying out the same terrorist attacks, and they mainly targeting the institutions of the government, the security forces. They're not trying to target the tourists or the others civilian groups, but they're mainly targeting, if you go through the past 3 years, they have carried out a huge number of attacks in Ankara, in Istanbul, and in southern eastern parts of Turkey. All of them, almost all of them, are against security forces, which is a clear indicator that these people are targeting the sovereignty of the state. They're targeting the symbolism of the Turkish Republic.
So looking also at PKK's past, we know since the 80s they didn't really have this technology or carried out this kind of deadly attacks. So today, what has changed? Do they have more international recognition, or is it because of Syria and Iraq? Have they more power now through the terror groups there?
Recently, the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan declared that they found a big number of weapons, Western weapons, in the hand of the PKK, the PYD, in the northern eastern parts of Turkey, which means that under the pretext of fighting Daesh, the West generally is trying to give and supply these terrorist organizations with weapons and ammunitions, but unfortunately, they're not using it to fight ISIS. They're using it to fight the Turkish Republic. And that is the point that Turkey is so angry with the West that they're not taking them seriously. Turkey should be taken seriously in terms of its allergy to the Kurdish problem. It's not a Kurdish problem, it's a terror problem. With these groups, they're carrying out these things with the support and the attempts to legitimize them in the European Union and in Washington as well.
Thank you for joining us on TRT World's Ahmed al Burai.